Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for calling this hearing. Mr. Isaacson, if I could just start with you. In March of 2024, you wrote, "The murder of a nursing student in Georgia has a lot of people on the right talking about migrant crime like it's an actual issue." That'd be Laken Riley you were talking about?
Laken Riley was an unusual case.
Yeah, here, let's have a look. Here's Laken Riley.
Yes.
Her murder, her horrific murder at the hands of this illegal migrant who was also unlawfully paroled in the United States. Her death, not an actual issue?
It's a tragedy.
But not an actual issue?
Migrant crime is much less of an issue than U.S. citizen committed crime.
Not an actual issue? Those are your words. Her death, not an actual issue. I just want to get, no, you say.
Of course it's an issue. It's a tragedy.
So what do you mean by your
murder is an
post?
issue.
It's not an actual issue, meaning we shouldn't be paying attention to it. Senate's wasting its time this week on the Laken Riley Act that would address the circumstances of her murder. What's your advice to us? We just discontinue those proceedings now?
I think the Laken Riley Act could do a lot of harm. It would allow me to say, oh, this person shoplifted, and that would be enough probable cause to get somebody deported.
Interesting. You're here. Who invited you to this committee hearing today, Mr. Isaacson?
The minority party.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're here as a spokesman for the minority party. I just want to make sure the record's clear on this. The spokesman for the minority party is advising the Senate that the Laken Riley Act is a bad idea and we ought to stop it. The spokesman for the minority party is saying that Laken Riley's death and migrant crime is not an actual issue. I can't frankly believe that I am hearing these words. You said it's not an actual issue. I read you the quote.
Laken Riley's death was not an actual issue.
You said that the murder of a nursing student in Georgia has a lot of people on the right talking about migrant crime. You put it in quotation marks, square quotes, like it's an actual issue. She's dead because of migrant crime, right? Let's try something else. Here, do you know who this is? Do you know who this young man is?
I do not.
Travis Wolf, 12 years old, from my state, murdered by an illegal migrant who was also, like Jose Ibarra, illegally paroled by the last administration.
Is your expectation that zero migrants?
Let me tell you what my expectation is that those who commit crimes in this country will be appropriately dealt with. And that we should not be allowing migrants who commit crimes into this country, and that, yes, migrant crime that kills people like Travis Wolf, whose death was shocking, whose death is inexplicable, indefensible. I actually do think, yes, I think it's an actual, wait a minute, it's my time, Mr. Isaacson. I actually think, and I want the record to be clear on this, that migrant crime is a real issue. I think the Laken Riley Act is absolutely necessary. In fact, I propose an amendment to the Laken Riley Act that will cover people like Travis Wolf. I think that ICE ought to be required to detain those illegal migrants who commit violent crimes against children, like Travis Wolf. And yes, I happen to think, as a former prosecutor, I happen to think that their violent murders are actual issues. And the fact that you would say otherwise, sit here and advise the Senate that the Laken Riley Act is a bad idea, that the whole thing is not an actual issue, it's all what, made up, I think is outrageous. I think it's absolutely outrageous. And the fact that you were invited here to give this testimony is stunning to me, I have to say. Absolutely stunning to me.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into an intense Senate hearing where Senator Josh Hawley dismantled the narrative on migrant crime. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. Let's jump right in, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Let's start with moment number one. Senator Hawley opened the hearing by calling out Mr. Isaacson's March 2024 statement. Isaacson dismissed migrant crime as, quote, not an actual issue. Hawley wasn't having it. He highlighted the tragic murder of Laken Riley, a nursing student killed by an illegal migrant. Hawley's point, this wasn't just a tragedy, it's part of a larger issue. Moment number two. Hawley confronted Isaacson over his claim that migrant crime is less significant than U.S. citizen crime. Hawley's response? A fiery defense of why migrant crime cannot be ignored. Moment number three was heartbreaking. Hawley brought up the tragic murder of 12-year-old Travis Wolf from his state. He emphasized these deaths are preventable with stricter laws. He proposed an amendment to the Laken Riley Act to detain violent offenders. If that doesn't get your attention, I don't know what will. Moment number four. Isaacson called the Remain in Mexico policy a program of death. But Hawley countered with hard facts. He argued it reduced human trafficking, child abuse, and deaths along migration routes. What's your take? Let's discuss below. And finally, moment number 5. Hawley's frustration was palpable as he concluded that inviting Isaacson to testify only to downplay migrant crime was a stunning move by the minority party. He made it clear, these tragedies aren't just stories. Hawley's message was loud and clear. This isn't just politics, it's about saving people. So, there you have it. 10 moments from this must-watch hearing where Senator Hawley tackled the tough issues head-on. Should Congress act on the Lake and Riley Act? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. End screen links to other political commentary